Well, hello there. A few months back I started a series of videos where I was desperately looking for more ways to play some of my favorite characters in Marvel. And despite what I've gathered, my viewers were quick to point out multiple new recommendations along with some corrections on certain games. And you know what? I'm kinda glad you guys did. In today's video, I wanted to check back on good old Red and his frenemy Punisher. I will go through all of the notable games you guys have mentioned and bring you some gems I found along the way myself in the last few months, where you can have a Daredevil and Punisher experience. And yes, I'm combining both in one video for more fun. And very quickly before we start, if you like my videos, I'd really appreciate a subscription. I still have over 80% of my viewers watching me without any sub at all, so if you could spare me a couple of seconds, I'd really appreciate it. Without any more delay, let's start. The first character I want to start with is Daredevil, and oh boy did I get some nice goods here. First off, I'll start with a game called Rise of Ronin. This game is a combination of Sekiro and your typical Ubisoft open world game. You have a large open world and you can play as a Ronin who seeks justice. You hunt down the bad guys, try to save Japan from incoming collapse, and overall just act as a badass ninja all throughout. Now I know Daredevil is not Japanese, okay? But we've had iterations of Eastern Devil before, and this is a game where you are a literal ninja that can dress up as the devil. Come on, I couldn't miss that. You make a character with a face you choose, which can be Matt Murdock's face if you want. Your twin blade can be Elektra, and you start immediately. And yes, you technically can kill your enemies, but you can very well also go a full non-lethal way. That's an option too. For Daredevil roleplay specifically, my two favorite ways to play the game were to either full-on martial arts it, which you can customize quite a bit the more you play, and use Kigai style with an oxtail blade that makes your sword into a billy club, similar to how Daredevil uses his weapon, and I absolutely love it, I cannot lie. Couple of things to mention is that the armor is a recolor mod you can get on Nexus, keep that in mind, and the extending lion style weapon you can only get mid-game. But if you know how to use mods and spawners, you can get all of these things from the beginning if you'd like. The game had some performance issues on the start, but a couple of Google searches and a DLL fix mostly resolved my performance issues, and the game works great now. A good recommendation. Now on top of that we have a game from the same developer called Nioh 2, and it's the same principle. Make yourself a Daredevil character, find a red demon armor, which there are multiple in the game, and grab a couple of tonfas, which are similar to billy clubs. And you are all set for a Japanese Daredevil experience once again. This time though, you will very often be facing actual demons from hell and expelling them, something Matt Murdock did in comics quite a bit as well. Overall a solid option too, but I did like the first one a bit more. Next up, we're changing the scenery for a bit and diving a couple of decades back to the only official standalone Daredevil game we've ever got. And I know I mentioned it in my previous video. This doesn't count, let's be honest. But you know what? If I'm gonna be thorough, it should count. So I played through the Daredevil 2003 video game from Game Boy Advance and I'm here to tell you all about it. Now, even though the game came out tied to the movie, quite honestly it does not follow the movie at all, and that kinda surprised me. The plot revolves around Kingpin's plan of framing Daredevil as his own personal assassin, as Daredevil is slowly taking out all gangs in New York and Kingpin claims he's paying Daredevil to do that. And Matt's goal is to reach the big guy at the top and stop him once and for all. We have our basic 3-punch combo, a nice spinning attack that knocks down most foes, a couple of jumping attacks, and of course our billy club attacks that can be close or range hits. Matt also has a Raider sense that marks collectibles and increases his overall damage and speed, and with that kit, we have over 20 levels to complete. Now, I'm not a big fan of the games of the genre, I will not lie to you. The movement feels janky, it's very normal to miss the hitbox of your enemies, and the constant blinking every time you get hit is honestly very annoying. But the game has some props I have to mention. First of all, once again it does not follow the plot of the movie, and this is a nice little side story from Daredevil's life we played through. The game does not just feature Kingpin, but we have Elektra as our enemy here, Bullseye, and even hand ninjas. Daredevil has an additional skin and collectibles to unlock, and overall the game is honestly not too bad for its time and the platform it released on, so I would treat it like I did the Invincible Iron Man from Game Boy Advance of the same era, in my previous video. If you're a fan of the character and dig these kinds of games, and maybe have Game Boy laying around somewhere, I think it could be a pretty fun experience for you, and it'll give you at least a few hours of a 2D Daredevil action. Nothing more, nothing less. Next up, I was finally able to get my hands on the famous cancelled Daredevil 2005 video game and saw what could have been. And quite honestly, I was surprised and upset after I played it. because the game would actually be damn good if it released, goddammit. We have multiple combat ability moves, a throw billy club ability that bounces everywhere like from the comics. Daredevil can swing on buildings and even has his Raider sense, something Rocksteady would use later in their Batman Arkham games. But clearly this game came up first with it. We even have a plot coming straight from comic books, not from the movies. And yes, the game feels a bit janky at first and you really gotta get used to controls. But after that, this had such good potential, and this unfinished build just shows it. I cannot recommend this because it's literally unfinished, and the game crashes multiple times for me from time to time, but as a Daredevil fan, I just had to play it for myself. Simple as that. Next up we have something that will ease our hearts at least a little. And that is a Daredevil fan game made by Mr. Nobody. And the game is somewhat a fun demo. There is one mission in port to take down multiple thugs and save a hostage. Daredevil has a light attack, a heavy attack, and variation of 2 finishers as far as I can tell. He can also throw his billy clubs to lure and hit the opponents, and there is also a whole Raider sense as well, which is awesome. And overall the game feels like a solid base for an actual video game. There's only one level so far, and you complete it once the hostage is saved. But the base for a game is there. I wish one day we can get more. Maybe he can make more levels or someone adds to them, because I would legit play more of that, you know. It's pretty good. It is completely free, but once again there's only one level, so it won't give you that much things to enjoy. Moving on, we're going into my honorable mentions, and first up I picked Dying Light 2. And there are multiple reasons for that. First of all, the game heavily relies on acrobatics and parkour to survive, which is the exact same thing Daredevil does. Second, you have survivor sense in this game, which is quite basically a Raider sense. It marks everything near you, including people and zombies' heartbeats and bone structure as well as items to pick up. You can do melee combat, but you can also use weapons if you want. And quite literally, you can become the Red Devil with multiple skins available in the game. And you know what? I'm having fun playing through the game right now, and this feels like a good experience. Especially considering we have a long run of Marvel Zombies available in comics, with the same premise. Now moving on, we have DC Universe Online, a game I've not played for a decade, and I kinda regret it, not gonna lie. In here you make your own superhero, and you can basically make a Daredevil build with multiple cool suits, full-on acrobatics, and billy club combat, which is amazing. The only caveat I have with this game is that it's set in DC Universe, of course. Other than that, awesome addition. Finally, I do want to mention, as you can see, that Batman Arkham Knight got some fresh Daredevil skins that are quite badass and are a fun addition if you were getting tired of the existing skins. Ken Patch's Daredevil mod you're seeing right now is likely my favorite skin for Matt right now. As for mobile side of things, in the last video I did not mention Avengers Alliance, a turn-based mobile game with Daredevil being a high crit champ with some destroying hits. Sadly though, this game is closed down now and you cannot download it anymore, but I feel like I have to mention it since people were asking for it. With this, we're done with our Crimson Ninja. Time to move on to the beloved Judge, Jury and Executioner, and I'm coming here with bangers, alright? First up, we've got this awesome game I've discovered called Gun for Hire, and this is literally a Sifu with guns. You spawn with a single weapon of your choice on a level filled to the brim with all sorts of thugs, and you get to work. When playing on hard, a single shot will kill you, so you have to aim good. You have to pick up weapons dropped from enemies, and you have to be smart and precise, and I love it. This game is known online more as the best John Wick game out there, but with no specific story and this just being a non-stop level-to-level carnage simulator, I think it fits Punisher well too. The game also features other skins you can unlock, including strong references to Nioh from Matrix and John Wick himself. And even though this is an indie title and some animations seem off here and there, I once again had a lot of fun here and beat all of the levels. And if you want yourself a sequel with guns, strong recommendation. Next up we have the Punisher experience I was shamed for not mentioning in my Punisher video. We're of course talking about Punisher Warzone mode for Max Payne 2. This mod pretty much remakes the game completely to be somewhat of a spin-off from the 2005 Punisher video game. There are multiple new levels that feel like they were inspired from that game heavily, and you do go through all of them killing various thugs, some weak and some strong. There are also cameo appearances like Deadpool, who is a special boss, and Black Widow as an ally. Overall, this mod feels like someone who really loved the original Punisher game made it, but I gotta be honest, it's quite old and is extremely buggy. I have had multiple crashes, was stuck on levels multiple times, and overall, it's definitely not polished. I saw some patches online made by other people, so maybe that would help, but I personally didn't try them. And overall, if you're willing to go through a few hours of pain to make this work, maybe it's worth it, but the amount of bugs will give you something to do before you enjoy it. Next up, we have something you guys mentioned as well, and that would be Watch Dogs. And I mean, that actually makes a lot of sense. By default in the first game, main character loses his entire family, and he's on a quest for revenge to take out the biggest corrupt criminal organization in the entire city. So quite honestly, this was a Punisher game by default, with a slightly more tech-savvy Punisher that is. You are able to do stealth, but at the same time there are ways to go completely ballistic as Frank would, and completely annihilate your enemies. And of course there's a Punisher mod here too to enhance your experience. Moving on, since we talked about post-apocalyptic Daredevil with zombies, it's Punisher's time now. And the first game on the list is Mad Max. Guess what? We have the same story. Main character lost his entire family and is now a local lethal protector, getting rid of scum by any means he has. And we of course have a Punisher skin here too. I've played the game for a while and quite honestly, it kinda slaps. Next up, we're moving to honorable mentions, and we've got Mafia 3 heavily mentioned in the comments before, but I'm not that keen on it. Yes, the main character loses his entire family, but the main goal is to become literal kingpin, something Frank I'm sure would not like. Although the gameplay and mechanics of Marine Bat at war with crime is peak and fits very well, so no questions to gameplay, it works really good. Now moving on, I did mention Fallout 4 in previous videos, but Fallout 3 also has multiple mods to bring Punisher in. Not only can you make your character as the Punisher of course, there is also a mod that puts Frank out into the wilderness and you can find and recruit him as a partner. More than that, you can even find and recruit Jigsaw, something Frank I'm sure would not appreciate, but it's still kinda badass. Finally, Metal Gear Solid 5 could be a good high-tech Punisher simulator if you play it like the Punisher and don't engage into stealth as much, with a giant arsenal of weapons and some elite Metal Gear tech. But me being a big fan of Venom Snake, kinda hard seeing Frank in that role, but some of my viewers seem to enjoy it and I understand the appeal. And that's about it. All I could dig up as of today. I really hope you liked the video and I'd love to hear which game interested you the most, especially if you found out about them for the first time from this video. Punch a like and subscription if you enjoy this kind of content and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.